With 6 Formula One world champions on the grid, this season's Formula One promises to be even more exciting. SwitchUp.tv caught up with ESPN Starsports F1 commentator Steve Slater to get his insights on which team and driver will be challenging for the title.
Sebastian Vettel, catch him if you can. I think that the Red Bull is still a car which is built on its superiority of the past years, and Adrian Newey has come up with a few things where the car's consistently fast. They haven't actually been doing the hero laps and getting the real headline lap times in the pre-season testing, but the car's been consistent over 20-25 laps runs, which is the time where you actually run between your pit stops during the Grand Prix itself. They've had a couple of reliability issues that they need to get on top of. McLaren looks the next strongest, and in fact in terms of pace and drivability, that McLaren looks like a really good car. Next car out of the box after that is the Mercedes-AMG Petronas. Nico Rosberg and Michael Schumacher look comfortable in the car. It's very nearly as quick as the McLaren and the Red Bull, and that actually it just may be that they might have the edge on tyre wear on the Pirelli tyres. And I think it's going to be really interesting to see just how close it is between those teams at the top. Sadly, Ferrari is struggling a bit at the moment. It seems that their theoretical Ferrari that they designed in the wind tunnel and on the computer programs hasn't quite translated into the performance they expected on the track. But Ferrari's got massive engineering resources back in Italy. They certainly are going to turn it around. But I think actually Ferrari might struggle in the first few Grand Prix of the season. Then we've got Kimi Raikkonen back in the Lotus as well. I mean, that's going to be something pretty special. 6 world champions on the grid for the first time in Formula One history. But I think it is going to be, over the course of the 20-race championship, the closest Formula One world championship probably ever.
Slater also feels the midfield battle between the smaller teams will also provide racing thrills to the championship.
Midfield battles away from the top 4 teams. We've got at the top, we've got Red Bull, we've got McLaren, we've got Mercedes, and we've got Ferrari. Then you've got Lotus, which probably haven't quite got the money and the engineering resources of those other teams, but it's probably the next best car. Then you've got this incredibly close-fought battle for the midfield positions. And you've got the Sauber team, Force India, which have got a very, very good car. It's worked well from the moment the new 2012 Force India car hit the racetrack. There is a question mark, though, about how much money these teams have got to spend on developing the cars as the season goes on, and that could be the challenge. Caterham, I think, they're still growing their resources in their factory in the UK. And Tony Fernandez's team, actually, I don't think will be necessarily a big midfield contender at the start of the season, but I think their target will be to get into that midfield group, maybe overtake Williams, who are still struggling a little bit, both financially and in their engineering. And you're going to see a really close-fought battle there between Force India, Sauber, Caterham and Williams. And then down at the back, you've got the Marussia team and HRT. You're going to have a real big battle between those teams at the back. And both teams, actually, the drivers tell me, and particularly Narain Karthikeyan, who I was chatting to last week, Narain was actually saying that the car that he's driving now is so much better than the car he had last year already that he's actually surprisingly optimistic.
The F1 season kicks off with the Australian Grand Prix on the 18th of March.